Welcome, welcome. Today I'm continuing the streak from the day before, or 2-3 days ago, I think. So let's get on to it. Here, I would say I push a pawn and then we'll see. If rook a3, probably just a4. King a7 looks good here, and you know, when I push, when he goes here, I take it. Big brain. King a7 to support a pawn, because once the king gets to b8, it's tough to win. Oh, similar type. But I promote, he takes, I take on c8, go pick up a6. Should be okay. Let's say this takes, king e5, king b7. Yeah. Oh, but you have to keep an eye on b4, because if you don't defend now, if you do something random like king b6, he promotes and picks up the pawn. So we go here. Okay, what is this? Is it simply check, king b8 to save the rook, and then takes, bishop c8? Should be. Bishop f6 would be nice if it wasn't for this one. So we need some in-between check, in-between move. Queen b6, king moves, and then bishop f6. And now the difference is that queen defends the rook, and we are ready to take on a1. Oh. Good. Check and then take on... Oh, but no. Check and take. So greedy. Check, king f1, queen h1, mate. That is it. This one almost looks like checkmate. Let's see. Rook f1, king e8, bishop f7, king d8, bishop d5, threatening checkmate, and I want to take a rook. So it's almost a checkmate, but combining two threats, threat of a checkmate and threat of capturing the rook, we get some material. Nice. So rook f1, check on f7, go back to d5 once the king is away from f8, and that's it. What's happening here? We have significant lack of material here, but we can deliver checkmate. Bishop d6. Hello, fellow form. Hello, Levy. For some reason I don't see the chat in my OBS, but I see it on YouTube. Oh, now I see it. I guess it's delayed half a minute. That's rough. So bishop d6, queen e8, king a7, and then f4, knight f3. Should be over. King g2, Queen g4 and queen h3. Yeah, bishop d6 is the only, just to bring it back here. So here, now this is a big threat. Queen takes h2, and if white goes f4, then knight f3. So after king g2 we have a check on g4 and queen h3. No way to stop it, to stop checkmate. Maybe like this. So what do we have here? Exchange down position. Is this some knight g4 stuff? King g1 and then take it, rook f2, and on rook f2, knight e3, take a queen. Could work out, but let's say king g1 takes, rook f2, king g1 back, then knight e3. Knight e3 is crushing it. And if king takes on h3, then knight f2 or knight e3 works, picking up a queen. So I believe it's correct to do that. Cool. This one, wow. Knights cover these 3 squares for the king, and this is mate in 2. Rook h3, king has to capture, and then g5. g5. Check. If rook b4, queen f1. And if something else, I go on the second rank and start giving checks until it's mate. Checkmate on c7. Oh, what is that? Wait, I'm black here. My a5 pawn hangs? Why does this look so weird? Black is to move. King f6. I didn't see that I can go bishop e6 after check. My bad. So king f6, not king f5, because you lose a check on a5. You lose a pawn on a5 with check, and nothing really changes. But here, rook h8 comes next, and white could delay this by rook a6 and bishop e6, then take on e6, but this endgame is quite easily winning. Okay, let's see. 96, I would say. But I would be wrong. Bishop on f3 is loose. Attacks my rook, so My knight is the most active piece there is. I can go queen c3, joining attack on g7 and attacking f3 at the same time. So black doesn't have time to capture because of checkmate, and that'll do it. That'll do it. Is g5 the move here? Takes king e5. On g4, just keep pushing the pawn because king is on this unfortunate square, which will allow me to promote with check. And his pawn will be only on g2. So that's the one. And now, do you take or do you push? If you push, he takes and goes king e6. But then I just go king f4 and wait for f5, g7, king f7, king f5, king g7, king e6, and then I easily pick this one up. And that is it. On g6 he cannot ignore this by h6 or h5 because my pawn is too quick, king is too far away. If king e7, then I pick it up, so that's also not an option, so g6 works. This one intuitively shouldn't work because black has outside passed pawn, which he can use as a decoy to pick up both of my pawns and win the game. So I'm not gonna check it because the plan for black should be the following: block the pawn by putting the king on f7, use the h-pawn as a decoy, and then pick up both of the pawns and win the game. So let's play g6. Now it's too early for g7 because black is on time to cover his f6 pawn, so I gotta play a waiting move like king f4, and that's gonna do it. This one, if the knight wasn't on b6, if the queen was undefended, I would have had rook f6. But in this case, there's something else. There's queen h5. If g6, queen h7 is checkmate. And if king g8, rook on e8 is attacked too many times. Defended twice, attacked 3 times. And let's just go. Yes, sir, hello. So this one is quite nice as well. Look for checks and captures. Rook e2 check, king f3, and now the rook is stuck. He has no viable square. f4, e5 are unavailable. f3 is blocked by the king. So we can use that in our favor to go g6. g6, and the rook doesn't have a good place to go. White has to give up a full rook. Well, not a full rook. He can take on e5. So g6, trap it. Okay. What is happening here? Bishop on e7 is defended once by the queen, so we can disturb this queen by bishop f4. And now you see, queen would ideally defend this bishop from d7, d6 or d8, but neither of these 3 squares is available. Or let's say e5. Let's play the full, let's paint the whole picture. So neither of these 4 squares is, none of these 4 squares is available. So we can go bishop f4, and let's look for some in-between moves, like b5. What's happening in this case? Well, we don't care. We take on c7 and the defender of the bishop is lost. So if ba4, we can take on e7 and be a piece up. So that's gonna be fine. And most importantly here, bishop d6 is not possible because of this rook. Yeah, queen takes f4 is also an option. And now we take on e7. All right. What is happening? Yeah. To enlarge it much more. What do we have here? Well, let's take a look at checks again. No, I know, it's a good one. Knight f6, king g7, maybe knight h5? Maybe. Knight h5, gh, queen h7, king e4, king f6, knight e4, king e7. I'm not thrilled about this. But he wants to exchange queens, that's not good. Knight f6, king g7. Well, first of all, if king h8, I have rook h5 with check. So that wouldn't be nice. But what do you do? What do you do? Knight f6, king g7, here. I don't see it. Do you? Okay, so queen h7, king f6, knight e4, knight c5. Yeah, but yeah, I was looking at that, but is it enough? Well, it should be enough because yeah, exchange for two pawns and exposed king could work. Let's go. Queen h7, knight e4. Because if it is, then king e7 and I'm a full rook down, and it's not that easy to exploit it. This weak king stuff. But if I go knight e4, I'll at least pick up some material before I do something decisive. And I think this would work. Okay. This one seems much more straightforward. Like, you take on d5, take on d5, and now you have to exploit this pin. But, you know, if you do a slow move like knight c2, knight e3, with the idea to go knight e3, then queen g5. He unpins very successfully and the game goes on. So we gotta do it immediately with queen h5. Double attack on the bishop, and rook e5 is not possible. I mean, possible, but not good. Sacrifice on f2 looks quite tempting. Bishop g3 also I would look at, but I believe bishop g3 doesn't have enough fire in itself. Fg, and it kind of the attack fades because material is not enough and we don't have enough. Maybe queen d8 with this idea, but queen e4 and you defend it against this. What was I talking? Rook f2. Maybe rook f5, I don't know, to pick up simply this pawn. So rook f5, and if you take on c7, I have rook h5, king g2, bishop h3, and bishop f1 mate when you move on the h file. And it doesn't seem like a simple thing to defend against. Maybe king g2. Ah yeah, king g2 maybe. Rook h5, rook h1. Maybe not so great. Rook f2 with the idea of bishop g3. Oh, rook on e1 hangs in the end. That's a nice one. I think you first have to exchange queens and then do that, like take on g2 and... But do you take enough? Like, white is now 2 pawns up. Take on g3. Oh, but I'm a piece up then. Oh, I don't count pieces. Damn it. Bishop g3. Oh, and just finishes. So yeah, I missed the small detail that... Oh, there's checkmate. Yeah, rook is on g1. Wait. This... So... Yeah, here... fellow form. No, I haven't gotten any money yet. Because I'm still not monetized for, you know, AdSense and money from the sponsors, from the ads. Now queen c4, yeah. Queen c4, bishop c4, and rook g2, and then this rook hangs. And in my head it was like, oh, he has 2 bishops, I have 2 bishops, and this is maybe not enough. Like, a pawn up, but is it enough, really? Yeah. Struggles of an average player. So, h5, quickly. Oh. Bishop b7, hg, bishop a8. I don't believe it's a problem. White will have some weaknesses in the future. So h5, the point is if queen h4, I can discover attack the queen by giving this check and then pick it up. And if you don't take on b7, you gotta abandon the bishop, because the queen has no good square to defend the bishop from. It has to go to e2 or g3, but then this is a free piece. So h5, if I didn't miss anything. I mean, only thing I have to check is potentially this endgame, but I think it's fine. We don't have to dig deeper, like queen g5, g3, and start poking around, or maybe even go queen d7, pick this one up, and start creating something on the queen side. Oh, bishop h7, cute. Cute stuff. Knight a2, knight a2, bishop g5, and well, yeah, queen e8 and take on a4, that's a nice one. So knight a2, right? If king b1, I take on c3, rook hangs on d1. If you take it, bishop g5, and there's no good coverage on this diagonal, everything hangs, and if king b1, just take it, and that is it. Okay, here we gotta do something about zugzwanging black with g5, takes, king e7. Maybe g6, but yeah, I go g6. Pawn endgame. The most annoying piece of puzzle. So h6, g7 here, promotes, go after d6. Does that work? I hope so. Because if I go h5, let's just eliminate all the other options. h5, h6, and what can I do next? Nothing. So g5, and then if king takes on g5, there's gonna be king g7 on h5, h6, and black keeps the opposition. So I gotta take like this, and if he goes to g7, I go after d6 and promote my d pawn, and when he goes to d7 like he did, I go g6. And now I don't go to h5 because then I lose a game. King f6, king h5, king g7. Now white is in zugzwang and loses g6. So I gotta implement some other plan. g7, deflect, take on d6, king c7, and promote. After which I believe, well, I didn't count, but they both promote at the same... maybe not, because king is on g8. Maybe not. Okay, where is that stuff? Queen c4 and then rook c8, what is that? No, queen c4. Oh yeah, that could be even more precise. You're right. Although king g6, h5. H5 and then king takes, king h7. That's an opposition, I guess. queen to c4. King goes to g7, and then we take it. Bishop f4. King b1. Oh, good. I wish you break your current record. C8, queen. Wait, what am I missing? Take. Or is it just winning because I have 3 extra pawns for... 20 to 30, but a very strong 20 to 30. Queen c4 take. I mean, I have 7 versus 4. One of them is a passed pawn. I would have been slightly worried if knight could somehow get to f5, but that's not really... Yeah. But it'll come back. Queen c4, yeah, queen c4 and just take on c8. King b1. I guess this one, and then you gang up on the knight on f7. Take, knight g5, rook f4, knight e6, knight e6, and easy game. Wait, bishop e6, queen d6. Then you just take on f7 with the rook and you don't care much. You don't care much. Bishop e6. Well, I guess knight d5 is the answer, but you take. Or maybe you go knight e2 first. But no, maybe you don't. Maybe you don't. You can use it later. Just bishop e6, queen takes f7, and when he takes on d6, then you take, and back rank is screaming. So what else can I do? I have to consider maybe queen takes g4, although that's a little too crazy even for me. Bishop g4 and one check, then I sacrifice. Yeah. Should I ship it? Or maybe I should. Yeah, bishop e6. I wanted at first this move, but that's 95 and 97. That's too bad. Now something has to defend this knight, this poor knight. So I gotta take on e6. And now, not to fuck up everything, by queen d6, rook f7. Wait. Ah, I'm pinned. Wow. I was thinking, why couldn't I take on f1? What? Why is that? I ask. Queen e3 takes, and now we have to calculate a sequence of checks. Ah, no, maybe you go a little smarter about it, like king h2, queen f4, provoke g3 to have an open king, and then queen takes f3. Maybe that could work. And you cannot go rook g1 because of queen f2. I mean, you can, but it doesn't quite work out. Aha, the problem if I take immediately on c1 is that he has a check and queen e5. Yeah, that's a bit messed up. Queen e5, and he always he stops queen f4 check now. Oh, but wait, this is not it. No, queen e7 maybe, queen e7. And you have to defend the bishop, and it goes on. So queen e3, queen f4. Let's go. Oh god, this one. Queen g5 and knight e5, what is that? Am I being pranked? I don't like pranks against me. Queen g5, king c2, knight e5. The fuck? Looks pranky, but looks solvable. I mean, 93 is too much. So 95. Oh. Anticlimactic, I must say. Knight g6, too much. Although it looks cute. But he takes on g3, that's the problem. So I can take and take on f5 maybe and have kilo pawns up. Well, only one, but this counts as one as well. Counts as half. So takes. Maybe take on g3. Take on f8, take on e1, take on e6. Wow, if it's not enough, then I don't know what is. Bishop hangs, knight c7 hangs. Everything hangs. Wait, knight d7, queen d7. Aha, knight f5, bishop e5, d5, knight c5. Looks a bit loosey. Queen c4, but I hold my... I don't know. It could work out. But yeah, it looks a bit Berlinish, I don't know. It looks like black is getting too much play here. I think this might be cleaner to go for this and rook e6, and then pick up even f5 in the end. I guess with the rook, well, no, knight will hang, but yeah, knight d7 takes, rook e6, rook e6 and knight f5 next. It seems enough. You have a discovered check on e7, so nothing to be worried about. Speaking of bishop g3, and that looks quite enough. Boom. And now I cannot take with the rook, of course, because bishop g3, and I can take with this one. Oh, challenging. Challenging. Well, exchange rooks, go a4 and win the whole thing. Win the whole damn thing. I mean, in these puzzles it's always exchange of pieces, nothing. I don't have to even think about it. So now if I don't play a4, he goes b5 and my pawns are useless, and he might win. Which is funny. So kill or be killed. Well, it's around my strength. Oh, gee. Bishop b5, knight d7, rook e6, f e6, queen e6, bishop e7, rook e1. But wait, I gave up too much. Yeah, I gave up a whole bunch of pieces. Let's take on e6, let's not mess around. Bishop e6. Bishop e6, let's stop fantasizing. Bishop e6, bishop e7, bishop f7, king f8, queen e6, and he's there, very clumsy. Back rank is weak. I mean, if he goes rook d7, I just put this one. And where are my pieces, damn it? Bishop d8, bishop e8. I don't know. Or just bishop h5 with queen e8. Matter of taste. Or I could just take on d8. No, I think this works. Bishop h5 idea. Well, I could do it immediately. Bishop h5 after his rook d7. I don't have to give a check. Let's go. Let's go. Queen e6 does it. Queen e6. Knight g8. I take it simply. Or if I'm feeling particularly sadistic, rook b7. So just do it. Let me just show what I saw. So on this I wanted rook b8, and on bishop here, bishop h5. Well, what I didn't see is that he can take on e1 and do this and prolong the game. But somehow I have a feeling that this doesn't work for black, because he's so pathetic. And you can do this. So, yep. Oh yeah, rook d8. Didn't see that. Yeah, I'd like to say that I saw that, but I didn't for some reason. Crazy. My highest streak, 148. But come on, bishop h5 is so much cooler. Stylistic points for landing. Okay. But yeah, no, 148, reaching that is a little crazy. How to improve chess? By breeding chess, by living chess. Is it just queen g4 and this? But is there a maximum? So I guess the trick can be on f3, this bishop f2 to not take, because then he has this mechanism of queen c8, queen f5. So you don't abandon the last rank. You go bishop, you go rook e8, and then when the king moves, you take on f2, and the king is just busted completely. Aha, 150 is the maximum. Damn it. So freaking close. Now take on f2, and then f3 will fall, and everything falls apart. Oh, gee. So if I could somehow magically appear on h8 with the queen, it would be a checkmate. So which one do we attack? We have to make some double threats. Double intentions. But which one do we attack? Rook or knight? If we attack a rook and threaten checkmate, he can do queen f6. So queen e8 seems like the more challenging, because queen can hardly move and defend, and still defend the knight and not be in danger. Speaking of this one. So queen e8, queen cannot really move that easily, and we win the knight with check. So that's it. Oh. Okay. Bishop takes, rook takes. Now, do you take on b7 or do you take on c4? If you take on c4, f3 looks pretty annoying. So I'd rather take on b7. With two bishops I might get something. I'll pick up a6 and whatnot. GD, you're not late, you're never late. Takes, bishop b7. You'll pick it up on a6, have a check on c4, hold all the pawns very convincingly, and just chill with the a pawn. So I think that's quite straightforward. Bishop d6 and bishop b7. What's the problem here? Well, the problem is, can I push the pawn and do this knight e3? I cannot do it. I cannot do it. But wait, I take on f4. He takes on f3 and then just push the pawn. Push the damn pawn. Takes, push, push. No way. Uncatchable. This is one of the easier endgames we'll see. Get used to it. Get used. Wait, this king f3, this one takes. Take a good look at this endgame. Oh, but wait, I'm fucking this up. Wait a second. King g5. Because you can spare one tempo. Because there's a skewer in the end. Queen h1. So even if he promotes on a8, I'm promoting first anyways and have a skewer. So it doesn't matter if I'm gonna waste one tempo. So king g5. Yeah, I didn't see it, like idiot. King f4 and he's in the square. And if I go here, he goes g5 and he's very quick. So king g5 it is. Yeah, I mean, that was so silly. But that's why I have chat, and that's why I double check. I don't do it always, but sometimes I do double check. Double chat. Hehe. But wait, king e5, g5, c4. Ah, he promotes first. That's the problem. b4, we take. No. No, a4, just take on a4 and pick it up. I mean, pick it up, push it. Am I right? Or do you need to be that clever? Wait a second. Let's see it. This. Okay, this is clear, but on a4. Ah, no, you just take it, go c4, and we have a skewer in the end. Skewer you. and well, he cannot really catch a pawn. They're just uncatchable. Okay, streak is not over. Loose piece. So what do we do? G6? No, doesn't seem like it. Knight f4 looks like it. Knight f4, queen g4. E5, queen g3, knight h5, and then knight cannot hold it anymore. I mean, the queen cannot hold it anymore. And if you go here and I take and go g3, then I give a check on h3, king g2, queen d4, attacking the bishop and buying some time for knight g5. No, here the focus is not on weak squares. It's not on positional chess. It's about catching this knight. And if, for example, I had a bishop on f8, well, it's about the weak squares as well, because on g6 you allow h6, which is technically a weak square now. Damn, it's always about weak squares. So, knight f4. Knight f4, queen g4, this. Yeah. Sounds right. Let's fail. What could possibly go wrong? Ah, but wait a second. E5, knight f5. I have to check that, but there's queen f6. 4-6. Knight d3, there's knight takes, fortunately. I think that's it. E5 here, there, bishop f7, queen f7, knight h6. Just one for myself. To get it out of my system. Knight h5 looks great. Looks impressive. What? This or something else? Or just queen takes a6, like a simple man. Queen takes a6, and now the point is, if you go rook f1, I have queen f1, knight g6, queen f7, and this one hangs. So does my rook, for fuck's sake. Oh, but he would have to defend it by queen g7 because g6 is hanging. So queen a6. Yeah, that's about it. Like queen f1, knight g6, queen here, and now queen g7, queen e8. Exchange up, king is shitty. And here we go. And finally, if you take on g6, there's gonna be queen g6 and queen h6. And how do you stop checkmate? Maybe like this. Maybe like that, yeah. Wait a second, what's happening with rook g7 here? I mean, typically you have some ideas like this and some check, but some squares are nicely covered, like f6. So you don't have a check on the 6th. So this, that, and... check, check. Check, check, rook g4 maybe. So queen a6, queen e3, rook g7, king h8, rook g4 now. Can you stop this? Queen takes h3, but yikes, that's... But my guess is the puzzle will continue, like queen a6, queen g1, and rook g1. Oh yeah, you can do it immediately because there's no queen h6. Oh, what is there? There is. Maybe. I wanted to separate... yeah, but if you go rook f7, rook h7, I have queen f6, so that's not an issue. And I wanted to separate the king in h6 square, so you don't have queen h6 stuff. Oh, but you exchange and take... Oh, give a checkmate. Fuck. Okay. So let's just take and... it's puzzle finished. After this. Yeah, I'm just blind. Greek gift. Smells like Greek gift. Takes here, and then queen d6, queen h6. Okay, let's check it out. Hey, GD. See ya. So here, let's see. Oh, nice. It's over. This check here, rook g3. And then queen a3. Whoa. With this threat, a lot of stuff. But okay, what if you don't well, yeah, you gotta, if you move the knight you're screwed, if you don't move the knight you're screwed. Knight f5, queen g6, and rook h4, and then this to kill it. Yeah, such a nice multi-purpose move. Queen a3, queen c3 is one threat, rook h3 second. Impossible to stop both. I guess you gotta go rook f6, but then there's this move, and you cannot cover because of the second threat, queen c3. Ouch. Well, returning back to Greek gift. What the hell is this? So you take on h2 and then think. He takes, you go knight g4. If he goes back to g1, queen d6, and well, I guess the point is if you play f4, you don't take en passant, you just take on e3 and pick up all of these pawns and finish the game in style. So let's take on h2 and then think, shall we? Or do you have any other idea? To calculate. Eek. f4, queen. You meant this one. But on f4, maybe he's gonna have some bishop e2 kind of stuff. Oh, but wait, I'm already on. Yeah, queen h6 is much stronger. My favorite chess game. Oof, so tough to pick. I've played so many good games. Just kidding. Maybe. Well, let's say Karpov Unziker. Maybe. Well, it would be more like favorite move, but. Yeah, let's take and then think. Knight g4 and then think. Because if I go queen d6 first, he goes g3 and he is surviving that, definitely. But he ain't gonna survive this one. He ain't gonna survive it. Bishop a7, yes. Unziker fell from chair. Queen d6. Oh, amazing. So, what's happening here? If I take a queen, he takes on e3. I take with the pawn. Queen c6. Interesting move, I must say. It's not bishop a7 actually, board is flipped, so it's bishop h2. Yes. And then queen a6, oopsie, you take a rook. Pawn endgames, kill me now. I guess it's h5 and then you just get these pawns messed up. Because if you go king e5 first, he goes h5 and he's gonna ask you, what now? And laugh in the face. So... Oh, Daka. No, no, no. You avoid me. Let's be real. Let's speak facts. You don't want to get bullied and then you avoid me, but it's subconscious more than anything else. But it's okay. I forgive you. h5 here, king e5 and then take. I forgive you for bullying you. King e5. Let's go. G5. Crash through. Knight king g6, f5, Jesus Christ. King h5, queen e2, king h4, queen g4. Close your eyes, kids. But wait a second, if you go to g6, what's happening? Close your eyes, I'm gonna make a mistake here. So g5, king g6, well, maybe just dance. Oh, but I'm on exchange down. Well, something has to always ruin the party. Damn it. G5 this, f5, queen h5, bishop h3. What to think about this position? I'm not clear on this one. I mean, black's king looks horrible, but if you don't have anything in next few moves, you're maybe destined to be killed on the king side. Like, also white's king can get pretty badly bullied on the king side. So what do I do? G5 here, knight f5, double check. Which double check should I give? By the way, maybe I can take, oh, I can take this one and just collapse his pawns here. Looks good enough. You cannot go to f7, so you have to move to there, but knight e7, knight e5, everything falls apart. Falls apart so badly. Oh, I'm glad you... No, you shouldn't forget. It should be a useful lesson. Don't forget. Don't be a goldfish. So g5. And then pick it up. I would say g5 is the move. I don't see anything else. If I don't do anything, he goes h6 and slowly plays something like king f7, and his pawns are too compact right now. So let's just go with the flow, with the gut. But now it's a tricky one, because if I... Well, maybe it's not so tricky, because he can get to f8. So... I don't know. Knight c6? Wait a second. Knight c6, take on e7, take on d5, get to f6, and enjoy chess. So we can take that. Ooh, that was close. Close call. Close call, my friends. So if I do this, he goes knight d1 and laughs in my face. Knight e3 is possible. So queen c4, queen c5. Don't let him laugh into my face. And now this knight hangs. I just have to include this check and then take it, because let's say you go, well, rook hangs first of all, and finally. So queen c5, queen f2, rook d1, whatever takes on d1, you take on c4, and it finishes good for us. But not rook d1 first. No, sir. Knight takes, queen c5, knight e3. And white's a pawn up. Queen c5, rook d1, queen c4. Oh, this one is g4. Is it? Is it not? So the point is, if you take on f4, there's gonna be rook f3, queen moves, and then knight f6. And on king g7, you don't take the queen, you give a checkmate. Or you take a queen and torture him for a while. Your choice. So on g4, if he moves to, let's say, b5, well, I guess you have knight f6 and king g7, rook e5. And if he takes on f6, you always have a skewer. If he takes on f6, you're gonna have a skewer on h4 and pick up the knight. Once you take care of the queen. That sounded so mafia-like. Take care of the queen. Only torturing and bullying. Come on. Come on. But I have some I mean, that could work. Yeah, that works as well. Because the king is so badly placed, and but I like this one a little more. Because I hate these material balances like rook and knight versus queen. I always hallucinate there might be some type of fortress. So if I can find a line where I take a full piece and have queen versus rook, I usually do that. But yeah, g4 is the move. Rook f1. Let's mess it up. So let's just show this real quick. So on g4, if he goes here, give a check. Here, yeah, it's possible definitely to go for something like this. Oh ho ho! What a burn! But I'm not a huge fan actually. You take... you have queen g7. But still, this should work out. Queen g7, queen f6. But somehow I felt this was more appropriate. Rook e5. And now if you take on f6, there's gonna be take, queen h4, and you take on e7. And yeah, if you move the queen, then I give a checkmate. But maybe there was maybe a problem with knight e5. But I'm not sure what problem that could be. I could go g5, let's say this. En passant. And just queen h4 maybe. To have next this and entry. But yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe it's a little too much. Wait, rook e5. No, let's do this way maybe. Just take, go here, rook e5. And when you take it, I take back. There's this. And this looks the cleanest of them all. Because if you move to d6, I give a check. You cannot cover because of c4. And if you go to c6, I have rook c3 and some checkmate here. Oh, but wait, rook e5, knight e5. I'm always missing this stuff. Queen e5, queen h4? Could be. Not a huge fan, but it could work. You take on d4 and do whatnot. But it looks a little more tedious. Although you can kick it out by c4 and... No, but yeah, this has to work. How would this not work? Boom. Simple chess, guys. Simple chess. So this, check, and mate. I don't know why I didn't do that earlier, but Marlon, thank you. Okay, new puzzle, new challenge. Maybe. Push this pawn. But now, give a check. Go here, bishop e6. King c6, rook d8. Or is it just rook a8 here and b7? Rook a1. Oh yeah, there's that stuff. King e7 and he's still in the square. Damn it. Well, I guess not. So, yeah, check. It's a problem. So let's take a look at this once again. Check and then push. If rook b1, bishop b3, you cover the b file and you don't get h2 in time because you take on d8 with check and the king is simply too exposed to survive on its own. So I'd say just this, and after king d7, b7, what could you do here? Nothing. Simple, simple. Whoa, this one. Wow. This, king f6, queen h4. That's nice. If you step on the h file, I exchange the queens and then promote. If you step on the 7th rank, I promote. King e6, king b6, and no checks whatsoever. No good checks. And did I miss anything? I don't think there's a white choice. It's either this or go to the h file or get to the nicest line here. Learning chess, hello. Join in. This one takes, king e6, king d4, and now we count tempi. That's the worst part. Yeah, not today. If it's another day I can do it, but today no. I guess we go with a5 after king e6, king d4. a5, and then in case of a4, b6, and white has no pawn moves, no good pawn moves left. And if a3, I go b5, and if white gets to c5, get to e5 and start pushing, and it's not even close. King e6, here, a3, b5, king c5, king e5, king b5, d4, king c4, king e4, b4 takes the... this is too slow. Oh, he goes here. Well, even easier. Even easier. a5, a3, b5, and now don't exchange pawns. a4, b4. Now make him to make a move, and that move has to be abandoning the e5 pawn, which is sad. Okay, king f1 first instinct. Don't mess around with this. And I think it's the right instinct. Like, what do you do after this? You resign. So king h1 first move. We can ship that quite confidently, right? Unless king h1 is even worse than rook f2. then we don't ship it. But no, this cannot be worse than rook f2. Rook f2 is so horrible that after knight h3 there's a check on the next move, so I gotta move it. Queen g4. What does he even threaten? God damn it. He wants to go here, but still no threat. gf. Yeah, send the link, definitely. No problem. I take on f4 and I'm a rook up. Wow. gf, e4 maybe is the point. To see something about gf, e4 and have queen f3. So let's be cautious about this. gf, e4. The hell should I do? Not easy. Not easy. gf, e4. Could I begin with rook f6 before all of this? Rook f6 and then bishop f6, then to capture on f4, because on e4 I can take on f6 and go queen g5 to cover on g2. So rook f6 looks like a killer. Rook f6, e4 then, but then you take on e4, bishop f6, queen takes f4, and it looks hopeless for black. A piece up, this pawn will drop very, very soon. Yeah. Yeah, that's quite important, because if it doesn't end in a check... No, it doesn't really... Yeah, it matters, because you can take on f6 later. Oh, but no, you don't... Oh yeah, rook f4, you can take even that, yeah. Yeah, there's just way too many good options here. And I guess I'm allergic to some of them, so... 94, this is 95. I think we should go with rook f6. Nice. Oh god, king g7, push. Here, push. Nope. So we gotta go king g5. King g5, f6, king g6, f5, h5, f4, h6, promote with check. h5 first. Yeah, that's actually the right move. Yeah, but at first I completely blocked the idea that you can go here, because I'm automatically... No, I think it's this. It's h5. Because king h7, you don't make an improvement as black, you just block your pawn. And the bad thing about king g5 is that he has f6 first and then f5. I believe that's the... Or no, f5 and then on h5 king e6, and now you're not in check anymore. You have to react with king g6 and then we promote simultaneously, and that's why you have to play h5. Because on f5 I go king g6. And now the difference is that you didn't really make me lose a tempo with king g5, king g6, like I did with king g5 immediately. So that makes a difference in this puzzle. You get to g6 immediately and then push your h-pawn. That's my explanation to this. What do you think? Does it seem reasonable? h5, f5, king g6. f4, h6, f3, h7, f2. No, I don't go f6, f5, I go f5 immediately. And on h5 I try to get to the corner, you get to g6 and then I push. Let's go. And now only move luckily. Only move luckily. Only move luckily. So this, that. So let's see what's the nuance. Okay, we push. He goes king e6. Now we gotta follow this one, because if he goes h6, I get to the corner and we're okay. So king g6, f4. And magically there's no check anymore. But if you go for this, I go king g6. And now I don't care if you go king e6, I don't react. h6 and just push. And if you push, this queen h3, queen f1, and GG. That's the difference. Yeah, that's, well, yeah, that's it. Okay. This one's loose. I'd like to ask, what's the catch? The catch is not to maybe take on h7 because of this trap, but to capture this rook. Because if I take this one, he's gonna have king e7 and rook h8. And then I'm not happy about it. Maybe the line where people go wrong is rook d4. They think they can get away with this. But you take it, queen g8, king e7, and then queen d2 with c2, I guess. And that's very unclear to me. And just to mention, if you meant rook d4, rook g7, I can go rook d5, maybe. The h6 pawn hangs after queen h8. You mean h7, but I will have... did you put king on e7? Then it won't hang. So queen g8, king e7, queen h7, rook h8. Queen doesn't have a good place. f5 is not available. Yeah, that's mostly it. So what do? We go after this one. The trapper. And on rook g7 go queen d5, stopping queen g5 and double attack by terrorizing black to exchange. So we give a check. We don't give a check. But what I missed was he might have queen g5 immediately. But that's fine, I think I can go queen d5 anyways. And on queen c1, queen d4. Aha, there's f4, yeah. f4, take on... Yeah, I think there's more than one solution, because I can go even g3 if I need. It's not so strict. Well, this reminds me of a game I played OTB, and also about a game Sveshnikov Kasparov. but this one is more complex than this. King b4, king c2, and then a4. Takes, takes, king c3, king a3, king c2, king a2, king c3, king b1, and then you go from behind. He's too slow. My root pawn is g6, which is too far, and I will take on e3 much earlier, so I believe that's the right approach. We have a diagonal position, and then it transposes to normal one. King d4, king b3, king e5, king c3. This takes. Now which one to capture, but I think it doesn't really make a difference. And also here you have to go a4. If you go here, I just follow. And a4 is a bit clumsy because of b4 and running. It's not easy for black to untangle here. So just a4. And go up to a3. Sure. Well, this is unfriendly. Take on c7. Take here. And now one more take. Or maybe it's enough. Maybe I take with the bishop, I don't know. Go here and king takes. Take, king c8. Rook b7, king b7, queen c6. You give a check on c7, take a rook with a check, and it's close to checkmate. And it all goes with check. So there's no time for some counter checkmate. So bishop c7. How do you feel about this? Bishop c7, and then the king will be in big trouble. Yeah, but you're losing a good defender on the second rank. For this position to work, you have to be good defensively. You have to be sound defensively, because if you, let's say, if you go rook c7, give a check. I know check is tempting, but after king b8, you need a check, because on the second rank you're very vulnerable. Gh2 is coming next with queen g2 mate, so you gotta hold your attack, or just take on b7 and call it a day. Queen b3, king a8, and that's not the way to go. Now you have no play on the light squares, and it's not gonna work out. So bishop c. Yeah, this looks good. This looks very good. And now you don't go to h1 because of queen g1. That's a little messed up. Queen g1 takes, king takes bishop c7, and or is it just queen f3 check? I'm not sure what's the case, but you take on h2. You don't have to abandon the Wait, what's the problem with king h1? I mean, I know it's king h1, maybe there's queen f3, and on king h2 rook h8. Because here if you start with rook h8, there's gonna be bishop d6, king goes to d8, and rook to c8 when queen has to react. Unlike here when the bishop can react, which is quite nice. So I think that makes the difference in this line. King h1, queen f3, and on king h2, rook h8. What do you say? So, and now it's a wrong move. Nice point. And then, oh, you wouldn't believe how many times that happened. Like, I talk something about what's the point of a move comparing to the other one, and then just it turns out to be a wrong point. Bishop d6 and rook c8. Oh. Now I have to make more points about this one. So hg or king g, at least there's only two choices. This is not a choice. So hg, rook e8, bishop d2, and rook b7. That looks a little tricky. You lose b7, you lose a7. I would rather go king g6, step away from the 7th rank, and you know, I give one pawn, but I might do some fixing on the a file. Oh yeah, there's that also. Wow, didn't see that. That's scary. Yeah, so king g6. Damn it. What? That's what. $100. Queen f2. Don't think about it. Queen f2. Here we go. Queen f2, g1 queen, take on f4, take a rook and enjoy. So takes, queen, rook takes, rook f4, king e3. Wait a second. Why is that? Yeah, king e3 is a little messed up. Little messed up. So I was maybe too excited about this. But there's something else. There's 95 after. So yeah, you take it. Rook f4 here, 95, and knight f3. Looks decent. Enough. Decent enough. Yeah, let's take it, because what else is there? So on this, king e3, rook f1, yeah. 94 would be clever, but queen g8 kinda ruins it. 94, queen g8, knight g8, rook d4, g2 probably hangs very soon, and black is gonna be like 2 pawns down. So you have to go 95. Sure. g4, king f4, bishop g3, king f2, queen f... queen f2 is not working. Wait. g4 here. Oh, this has to work somehow. Bishop g3, king f3. Oh, can I visualize properly once in my life? This, bishop g3, king f3. See you, Stefan. Wait, g4 here, queen goes to f6, and but what happens if you take? I don't see a checkmate. Queen g5, king f3, queen g2. I mean, it can be also winning a queen, but I don't see it. Steve Jobs, hello. 90 degrees angle, hello. Oh yeah, queen g3, queen g5. Yeah, I don't function So bishop f5. Wait, g4, king f4 there. Bishop f5. I mean, we gotta begin with g4, that's definite, but let's try to figure out what's happening on this. Do you simply take this, or I don't think I will win this if I take it, but then why not? This that doesn't quite work. Let's see what happened after. After this, GF, simply as that. King d1 and then c5. Okay, this makes more sense. With a passed pawn and queen, yeah, a lot better. And if GF, well, the same story. Like, you give a couple of checks and then in the end, it's messed up. Wait, queen g2. Ah, queen g2. And then c5. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah. 102, 103 is now. Should we take on g7? But then e6 is lost, isn't it? Or is it? Take on e6. Give a check. Ah, that's the point. Give a check and on rook e8 just take on a7. Funny position, funny. Let's check if it works. Queen g6, queen e6. I mean, if you don't do it, I'll do queen f8, and then queen hangs. So you gotta take this pawn. You gotta take it. Queen f8. You cannot go to d7 because of takes rook f7, losing a queen, because the king covers the 7th rank. So you have to go rook e8. I take, and now if you take my queen, I take it back, and there's back rank issue. You gotta go for queen e8 and give the queen up for free. Rook a8 and pick it up. So let's go back here. Rook e8, rook a7, and only things are left for us to examine are checks. If I go queen e3, there's gonna be queen f2, rook g8, king h2, and no more good checks. If you go to g6, that's easier to stop, I think. You just go king h2 immediately and I cover d6. Even if you didn't cover d6, I would play king h1 and no more checks. So if you manage to follow this madness I recited, tell me if it's crazy or not. If it's good or not. Queen g7, queen e6, here, rook a7. I think it's good. Queen g6, king h2. You escape from checks. In case of queen c2, there's rook f2 and checks will stop. If you take on f7, there's gonna be ef and the pawn is just too strong. He takes on e6. Who would have said? Queen f8. Queen f8. What else? Yeah. Let's do one more and I'm gonna go. Wait, what's up with rook d8? Do you just take? Bishop e3 looks good, yeah. And then rook d8. And on queen g4. Wait. Bishop e3, king e3, rook d8, queen g4, and just give a check. Oh, I'll have a check on b6 as well. That's good. That's very good. Because if I go for rook d8 first, he takes with the queen, bishop d8, and takes my rook. And that's too much material given up for a queen. 2 rooks and a knight. For a queen, that's a little too much, and I don't have that many entries. So that's it, I think. Bishop e3 seems like a front runner in this race. Rook d8, and you cannot go knight f5 because of rook d2. X-ray. And if king f1, queen f2 is mate. So nothing's left. Bishop e3. And now don't mess it up with the giving a check, because then you don't have a rook available later. So rook d8 first. And that's it, guys. Thank you for watching, for helping. I hope you learned something, at least. And I'll see you very soon. Maybe in a short, on a stream definitely. And have a great day. Bye.